All right. Oh, man. I'm nervous. All right, y'all. Hey. Hi. Oh my gosh, y'all are so great. Number one, welcome to DeJ'scussions. It's a talk show where we discuss the difficult, the uncomfortable, the unpopular, or the unknown about people or social topics. So I'm really happy that you guys came to join us. It is the series premiere of the Home Improvement series. So I just want to thank you guys for joining me for this special moment. It is crazy because actually DeJ'scussions started back in 2020. So back in 2020, we all know it was a quarantine, pandemic, COVID. So it was hard for people to go out, obviously, and socialize. We were all trapped in our houses unless you were working, but after that, you still went back to your house. So we didn't have much of lives in 2020. So I decided that I became passionate about mental health. I think that mental health is important. I struggle with my own mental health. I struggle with my emotions. I struggle with dealing with depression and anxiety. So because of that, I started to research things that would help me handle my emotions properly. Things that would help me handle my emotions and process my emotions, because if I can't process my emotions, I'm not going to handle my emotions well. So because of that, I decided to research things, and it really started February 2020 because that's when I did a Black History Month video, and I wanted to tell another side of the story to the Black story for Black history. I feel like a lot of times, which is okay, we talk about Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, that's obvious, right? But there's so many more recent things that have happened in recent history that I felt like we didn't talk about. So I wanted to share, yet again, another side of the story. So that's what I did. And I posted it out on Instagram. It was 10 minutes long. I interviewed my brother. I interviewed my friend Nadia. I also interviewed another one of my friends. Her name was Tracy because she's mixed. So there was a few different people that I interviewed. Oh, my Aunt Marcy too. I interviewed my Aunt Marcy about things. So we were talking about different topics and things. And I began to be like, oh, this feels good. Like, I like doing this. So after that, I didn't think much of it. But like I said, in June 2020, all of a sudden, I thought about putting together a talk show. I was like, what if I really become a talk show host? Like, what if that's really what I decide to do, is come up with it? And I was like, well, I can't really do that. I'm not qualified to do that. I probably need a degree for that. But, you know, if God qualifies you for something, you don't need a degree. So because of that, I decided that, okay, let's do it. Let's put it together. Let's do it. So I was trying to think of a name, and I said I like to have discussions. I like to talk with people. I like to do X, Y, and Z. So now I'm like, okay, so what should I name my show? And then somehow God dropped it on me. DeJ'scussions. It was either DeJ'scussions, like, and take out, how do you spell discussion? Oh, take out the I. Sorry. Take out the I. You take out the I, and I put D''scussions. And I was like, no, that sounds too much like the word. So I said DeJ'scussions. Majority of people in my life call me Deej anyway. So let's do that. So that's what I did. So I came up with DeJ'scussions, and my first two episodes, well, my first episode was me just explaining my heart behind DeJ'scussions. But after that, my first episode after that was my friend, Janae. She has our own makeup line. So we did Armani faces then. And then after that, I did my Aunt Marcy again. We had an interview, and we talked about transitions. We talked about transitions in life and how that works. So after doing all of that, it was really difficult putting that together, and it was hard because I was going through crazy things at that time in my life, and I wasn't completely submitted to God. So things were just harder than they needed to be because I wasn't listening and focusing on what God wanted me to do. So I took like a 2-year hiatus, an obvious 2-year hiatus that has led me to this point, which is really crazy to me. So I just really thank you guys for coming and joining me. This is like a huge step for myself, I feel like. It's just another step towards, I guess, the end goal, whatever the end goal is. And one thing I have to mention about DeJ'scussions is I don't care if the whole world knows, but I also don't care if only one person knows. If one person learns from every episode, then I've completed the mission. The mission is complete. So I don't care if it goes big. I don't care if I make money off of it. I don't care if the whole world views it. Of course, everybody likes, success. But success is just getting your point across and people learning. And the whole point you have from it is if that's getting across, then you've done it. It's been complete, right? So that's one of the biggest things. So I also would like to have you guys follow me on YouTube and Instagram. So if you don't already, I want y'all to pull y'all phones out. I don't see nobody pulling their phones out. Y'all follow me? Follow me? Are y'all subscribed to my YouTube channel? Oh, all right. Well, y'all faithful. Y'all faithful. Y'all faithful. All right, well, good. I'm glad about that. So, like behind me, I don't know if my chairs are in the way, but the YouTube handles, they're on the screens too. So the YouTube and Instagram handles are on the corner in there. So I'm really happy about that. So thank you guys for following me already. Yes, so we're always ready to do something. But it's already done because that's what God does. He does things already. So, yeah, I'm really excited about that. That's pretty much all I have to say to welcome you guys. So like I said, there's food in the back. I didn't buy it for no reason, so please eat it. Y'all can take stuff home too, like bags of chips, cookies, I don't know. Y'all can do something. So please eat up all the food. Like I said, we didn't spend money on it for anything. I think that's pretty much it for the welcome. All right, so up next, we do have someone who's very qualified. She's great. She's an encourager. She's sweet. And she really makes me smile. And she will let you know what your worth is. She does not hesitate to do that. So I would like to ask Dr. Stacey Haynes to come up, and she is going to explain a few things about emotional intelligence and mental health. So I'm going to leave the floor to you, Dr. Stacey. I'm going to leave the floor to her.
Good evening, everyone. I am so honored to be here. Well, let me tell you a little bit about myself for those of you who are not familiar. I am a counseling psychologist, and so what that means is I went to college for 11 years to learn how to talk to people. Long time. So one of the things, my profession, I am a mental health counselor, a licensed professional counselor by license, but by degree a counseling psychologist. I own a mental health practice, and so I work with children, families. My specialty is parenting concerns, children diagnosed with autism, ADHD, behavioral concerns. So I do consulting with schools, I travel, I teach schools, and work with mental health. In addition to all that, I'm an adjunct professor. So again, teaching just continues to happen in my life. But I'm also excited to say I am a proud mom of 2 young teenagers and a wife for 17 years. And so all of my life experiences have helped me in the work that I do each and every day. So I was asked today to talk a little bit about mental health, emotional intelligence. How many of you in the last 2 weeks maybe have felt scared, nervous, fear? Raise your hand. All right, good. I just normalized it. All right, so somebody cough, and more hands will go up. That's what we've been like for the last 2 years, right? So fear as a feeling, as an emotion. For those of us who said yes in the last 2 weeks, there's been a moment when I've been nervous, I've been scared, I've been anxious. You understand your feelings. That's what emotional intelligence is, the ability to understand how I feel, how I respond, how I react in that moment, and then how to move through and be able to handle life stressors. Mental illness, on the other hand, is when I have that emotion like fear, and it makes it to the point where I can't function in life. Maybe I'm anxious and I can't go to work. Maybe I'm anxious and I can't go to school. Or I have such anxious thoughts that they're racing through my mind, and every moment of my day, I'm scared that I'm going to die. I'm scared that I'm going to have cancer. I'm scared to the point where I can't function. And so that's what we talk about when we talk about mental illness. Mental health, which I'm in the business of, mental health is about treatment and prevention. Treatment. Many individuals will come into a therapist, see a counselor. One thing I love about what DeJay is doing is making these discussions so we can get rid of the stigma. We can have young people coming in and seeking out the help that we need. But treatment, you're going to come in, you're going to talk to a therapist, you're going to talk about your thoughts, your feelings. When we talk about that fear, what we're going to do is we're going to talk to you about when do you feel that fear, what are your coping skills, how can you get through that moment. It's not scary. So I have to normalize that for people because it's not scary. And we're not all going to medicate you because many people feel if I go to a therapist, they're going to say medication. Well, in some instances, when the fear is so debilitating, then we may need to talk about medication. But we're going to do all the other strategies first. Prevention. Now, I am a Christian, as many of you are here tonight. And so I say prevention for mental health has been around since the Bible. Go to your word, and Scripture talks about meditating on the Word of God, meditating on good things. Many individuals, the number one reason we go to see a therapist or a primary care doctor is because of stress and anxiety. That's the main reason. But Scripture has been saying, meditate on my word, think on the good, think on the positive. Before I go, let me share with you, right now this is one of the stressful seasons. Your stress response. What we know is how you envision things, how you envision that stressor, how you perceive that stressor, indicate your stress response. I could say to myself, this is going to be tough. This is hard. I can't do it. And I'm going to start to get anxious. I'm going to start to get depressed. I'm going to start to feel those words. I'm going to start to feel overwhelmed. I could say to myself, for example, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I'm an overcomer. I'm victorious. And as you start to say those words, your feelings change. That's the power of mental health. That's the power of Scripture. That's the power of understanding your emotions, how they're triggered, where our thoughts can take us. And so I'm super excited because we need more things like these discussions. We need platforms where people are talking about the ability to change not just your thoughts, but for some people to change their lives. And so, folks, again, I really encourage you, please, if you haven't already, subscribe, check her out, check out the show tonight. I'm so excited about the discussions. And one thing about the home improvement, again, we are that temple. And in our body of believers, I just want to say to folks, we have to stop making it hurtful for Christians to be honest about our mental health struggles. We have to walk alongside those that are hurting. God gave us mental health therapists. He gave us information. He gave us knowledge to be able to support one another, to build up the body of Christ. So with that, I say thank you. Good luck with everything, my dear.
She's so well-spoken.
Yeah.
Because she tried to act like she's not, but
Uh-oh.
I'm going to encourage her the same way she encourages other people. She's so great. That's why I asked her to come up. And she's so knowledgeable. And it's also good. It's always good to find people who are credible and knowledgeable in something. You can't just have people coming out and talking about stuff and they don't even know, what it is. So that's part of the reason why I hesitated on doing this talk show and making it on what it was, because I felt like I wasn't qualified. But I made sure that I do my studying, I do my research, and sometimes experience is the best way to know. And if you struggle with mental health, if you struggle with your emotions, I was like, how does that not qualify me for this? I can say how I feel or what things make me feel inside, and I can figure out how to come out of it. And also, too, I have my own therapist, and she helps, too. So I just think that's really important. Thank you, Dr. Stacy. You're so great. You're so amazing. That's my girl. Okay, so does everybody have a ticket? This is the honor code, and y'all in a church, so you can't be lying. Does everybody have a ticket?
Yeah.
Yes. Does anybody not have a ticket? Because I have a roll right here, so I can make sure. Just make sure you find it. Look, I see people searching. Tanaya, you got your ticket. Here. I'll give you another one if you can't find it. If I can rip it.
Right.
Yo. Oh, Aubrey. Come here. You want to help me pick the tickets? Come on. Let's pick the tickets. Let's stand here. Anybody else? Everybody's good? We got tickets? Don't miss out on the raffle now. Okay. So we're going to pick these tickets. So first I'm going to start with number 1. The whole point was to have one raffle box, and the people who I asked to give me things are so generous that they decided to give me more than what I asked for. So now we have we have 6 different baskets, and then I have a gift card alone by itself over there. So, so we have prizes. Like, we have real life prizes, and I'm very excited about that. So I'm gonna start with Josh, I know I told you something different, but I'm gonna start with the Starbucks gift card. Please, just bear with me. All right, so Starbucks gift card. Aubrey, I'm gonna have you. First of all, this is my niece. Isn't she cute?
Hey,
She's
niece.
beautiful. I love her. I want you to pick a ticket. Any ticket. It doesn't matter which one. Just pick one. All right. Can I read it? Thank you. So this is for the Starbucks gift card. $15. That's my sister. It's 5635889. Fun! Hey! All right, come get your prize. Come here. Come get your prize.
My God.
You're welcome. Take that from you. Yep. All right, there goes that one. So we have more gifts. Are you okay to stay up here with me while we pick them? Okay. All right, great. Thank you. All right, so next, now I'm really going in order this time, Josh. So I'm going to go back. So Dr. Stacy has actually written some books, right? So she's made a gift bag of her own, which I didn't even ask her to do, but she's so great, like I told you. We're going to give these away. So we're going to pick from the basket for that. So Aubrey, let's do that. All right. Okay. Thank you. 563594. 563594. Tanaya. Hey. All right, Nye. Yeah, you can give that to me. All right.
Yeah, get that Noah number. I got
All right.
64.
What? You want to give Aubrey the mic? Oh, so she can say it? Oh, okay. Look at that. He's going to make you talk. You want to talk on the mic? Are you okay with that? No, you don't want to do it? All right. She don't want to do it. She said, I'll pick tickets.
That wasn't mine,
All right, this is me shaking them up. Okay. All right, Aubrey, pick one ticket. All right. 563593.
Where are you?
Mercy! Hey! You can give it to me. Okay. So the next gift bags, because yet again, our next author was so generous. I asked him for 2 books, and he gave me 4. So I'm very excited about that. So this author, his name is Darrell Robinson, right? So he is the author of The Power of the Second Seat. So it's a very amazing book. I've read it myself. It's not a long read at all, but it's genuinely a good book. It's truly written, and you know you can tell someone wrote something when you read it, how they talk, and they have expressions in there, how they talk. So yeah, definitely. He wrote that book. So, we're going to shake this. Yeah, if you win it, you got to, you can keep your ticket. I'm going to call another one. Okay. All right. All right. Now watch this be, okay. 563588. Oh, Jess, hey, look at that. That's a winning couple over there. Go ahead. Come on now, power couple. Here you go, Jess. Yes. All right. Aubrey. All right, go ahead. All right. 5, 6, 3, 5. She say okay after every number. Yo, she's crazy. 6, 0. Corey? Hey! Well, you know what? Do you have the book already? You have 2? Okay, so do you want to pick someone to give it to? Yeah. All right. Good. Who? Yeah, you went ahead. Miss Cheryl. You can keep your ticket because we have another. You're ending. You can keep it because, yeah. Miss Cheryl. So we're gonna give this to you over here. We're gonna put Corey's back in there. All right. So we got 2 more baskets. So in these baskets, Darrell's book is still in there, but also we have different things in here from different people. So I happen to know a few different authors, as you can see. We also have Chris Collins. That is my brother. So his book, Chris's Family Celebration, and that hits a special spot because we grew up in the same family. So the reason he wrote the book is to show his childhood and how much he loves his family. And I grew up in that same family. So that's cool to me that this book is real. It's true. It may be a children's book, but it's coming from a true place in his heart. So I'm very excited about giving that away. I know another author. Her name's Indigo. So she made a book called Bigger Than a Bump. And it's about insecurities and feeling one way on the inside but showing something different on the outside. And I think it all shows that we all are insecure about things. So that's a really good book. It's also a quick read, but it has a lot in those pages. But yeah, not only that, she is my partner. So we both work at Bahama Breeze. So we always work together. Yes, every Thursday. So that is not only my coworker, but that is my friend. So next after that, we also have BB Skincare by Nadia Simone. So that is my one friend. So she doesn't currently live in New Jersey, but she's watching online. And Nadia, thank you so much for giving your products and just supporting me as I support you and your skincare line. But you have a eucalyptus rose butter, so I'm very excited about giving that out. Hers is an all natural, organic skincare line. So she not only gave that, but she gave you the little scrub things. What these called? Yeah, that. And then also there's a box in here. When you open it, there should be a QR code inside. Please scan it so you can take that there. Also, last but certainly not least, this is my sister. So from Soul Love, that is another. Ooh, Day, you a fan favorite. You a fan favorite. So she makes total body care products, and they're all natural as well. And one thing about my sister, if it's not natural, she's gonna know, okay? Because let something be crazy in the air and she'll start sneezing, for real. So I'm saying all that to say that it's definitely all natural products in there. So she made an oil, right, Day? That was the oil. So an all-natural skincare oil. She also wrote you a little card inside, too. So you have that, something personal. And then I just threw another gift card in these. So it's a Grubhub gift card in here. And then the other one is a Chick-fil-A gift card. So I think I covered this all. Yeah, so let's just thank everybody who donated. Let's just clap that up. We appreciate y'all. I thank you guys for supporting DeJ'scussions. That literally means the world to me. You'll never, I don't think I'll ever be able to show how grateful I am, but truly I am very grateful for this. So I'm excited that we get to do giveaways. We get to give things away for people to take. And if you read the book, if you want a book, I'm not going to force you to read anything, but if you think there's someone else that might read it, pass it along and give it to someone who's actually going to read the book. These people didn't write it for no reason. They didn't put it on pages for no reason. They didn't donate it for no reason. So they have words. God placed words inside of them, and they're going to benefit you and they will help you. And I truly believe anybody that did receive a book, you can receive something from it. So try to read it. They're not long. I didn't give y'all Harry Potter books. I gave y'all thin books, okay? So anyway. All right. So after that, I'm done talking. Well, I'm not done talking. I lied. But about this. So, Aubrey, we're going to pick 2 more tickets. Is that cool with you? That's cool with you? Okay. All right. Let's see who the lucky winner is. All right. 5, 6, 3, 5, 6, 7.
Oh.
Indy! Oh, wow! So what I'm going to do for you is you can give me this. I was just about to say, you can pick someone to give your book to. You can pick someone to give that book to. It doesn't matter who it is. It's your choice.
Look what happens when you give. See what happens when you a blessing.
All right. All right, Aubrey. This is the last one. We got to really make it count. All right. All righty. All righty. 5, 6, 3, 5, 9, 7. That's you. Hey, Patch, come on now. Here you go. Yes. All right, beautiful. Yes. All right. So that's the drawings for today. Aubrey, thank you so much for helping me. I love you. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, Aubrey. Give Aubrey a clap. Yeah. That's my girl. It's funny, she was shy to speak, but if anybody knows Aubrey, she's not shy. She's not in person. All right, beautiful. So we'll push this to the side, I guess, right? Or I could have left them there, whatever. So now, thankfully enough, I do have the pleasure of being interviewed by my friend. She's not only my friend, but she's smart. She's talented. She's anointed. And she's just so great. And I'm glad that I've become friends with her over time. So I'm going to invite Jazz up. Jasmine. Hi, my friend. All right, so.
Are you ready to take a seat? I know you got heels on and stuff.
Well, one thing I do. I do heels, so I'm good right now. I do. I am. But let me sit down. So she has helped me come up and do a series of questions. So I really appreciate you taking your time out to support me. I asked you to do this, and you said sure. She didn't hesitate. So the easiest thing I can say is when you have a village of people around you that are willing, take the help. Because I have a hard time taking help from people, but she definitely just helped. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna she's gonna ask me a few questions, and I'm just gonna be able to show my heart about DeJ'scussions. And I only read over them once, so let's just
That's okay.
let's go.
Yeah, that's okay. And I can say the appreciation is mutual because you thought there was no hesitation, but I literally went through a series of emotions like, but it was very easy to say yes because I don't know if it was February of earlier this year. We were at Uno, and we were talking about. Yeah, that was the first time I asked you about DeJ'scussions.
I remember that.
And this is when she started to explain the home improvement series. So, congratulations.
Thank
You're
you.
here.
It's out.
You
I
did
know.
it.
This is insane.
You did it.
Whew.
So, I'm very excited, but I have these questions. The one question I didn't send or ask you is how are you? How are you feeling now that you're like at this halfway point of your event?
It's crazy. I didn't think. I don't know. So leading up to it, I wasn't really excited about it. I was actually pretty nervous about it. Yeah, I wasn't excited. People asked me that multiple times leading up, and they were like, how are you feeling? Are you excited? I'm excited. I said, I'm glad you're excited because I'm not really excited. But I'm feeling okay now. I'm good now. Every time with me before I'm about to get on stage and take a microphone, I'm nervous. But as soon as I get up here, I'm fine. So let's just hope I'm continue to be, if I could speak, fine. I think the easiest part actually will be these questions because you just ask me and whatever comes to my mind, I'm going to say it.
Okay. And I'm also going to preface the rest of this interview like, there is no fourth wall tonight, right? You're just going to be able to witness a conversation between Deej and I and get to know a little bit more about the show and her. So, you talked a little bit about it earlier, but in the last year or so, you haven't released content. But we know just from conversation that you and I have had, God has been releasing things to you. So what have you been doing over this time?
That's a good question.
We starting early.
So I think you'll see, I explain a little bit about it in the video that plays after this, the first episode. But really, I think I've just been working on me. I think God had to prepare me to be able to come up with content because you have to be ready yourself. Before you can give things to people, you have to be ready to talk about it and to do it yourself. And I think that I hadn't gone through enough shift in myself yet. I hadn't come out of a place soon enough to get to another viewpoint to where I can look back on something and speak on it. So I think that was it. I was going through a lot. In that time, I was going through a breakup. I was going through emotions, deep sadness, transition emotions. I was in the midst of putting away old actions and picking up new actions. So I think it was just a complete transitional phase. And in those times, I came up with content. So some content, I'm telling you, not this episode, but the next couple episodes on boundaries and codependency, I had come up with those outlines a while ago. So I have had those, but some I couldn't come up with because there's even a topic called automatic negative thoughts where I had to go to therapy to understand what automatic negative thoughts were. So I didn't know about that until maybe a year ago. So it's different things like that. I just had to go through. I had to go through trials, tough times. I had to go through fire because I had to be tried. Seriously, I did. I had to go through things just to come up with it. So really, I think it's just self-growth and a lot of emotions I've been through.
So even with being tried, how is that and hosting the show changed your relationships, like the boundaries and different things that you had to develop over the time?
I think that it has made me, that was the transitioning point in my last relationship. I didn't know boundaries. I was very codependent. So in those times of knowing about those things and understanding and figuring out those things, then it transitioned to, okay, so maybe this relationship isn't for me. Right. So I was like, oh, wow, that's intense. And I felt like that was a huge nugget God had to place in my life so that I knew I had to go. Because a lot of times, if you're stuck on the old thing that's not for you, God might not give you what it is that, you need next. Whatever's the next step, if you're stuck on the last step, how are you going to get to the next step? You know what I mean? So I think it has helped a lot. It has enhanced a lot. I think it's even made some friendships end because I started to put boundaries in place and I started to change my life around. So because of that, it weeds some people out. Like some people just aren't going to be there because you just don't do the same things as them anymore. So they just weren't around. Eventually, we just couldn't connect anymore, and that was kind of it. So I think now it's helped just all around, like have healthy boundaries, not be codependent on people, and I think that's it. I think it's really just changed my perspective on how to view people and how to view relationships and not I'm a burden. Because that's what I thought. I thought I was a burden, so I held in certain emotions and things, so people didn't know those emotions. So I didn't, I don't know how to word it, but just so that they didn't, I'm trying to think, like, just so they wouldn't get mad at me for stating how I felt. I never wanted people to do that. I'll bear the burden. I'll bear the burden of our emotions just so that it doesn't cause friction in our friendship or relationship. But I know that that's not healthy. Right. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Now, you mentioned burdens, you mentioned weight. So consider what it's like for you talking and taking on the responsibility of talking about the good, the bad, the ugly, the uncomfortable, the unknown. Dun, dun, dun. So tell us about some of the qualities you had to learn to appreciate about yourself when it comes to those conversations.
Ooh, maybe I should have looked at these questions like 3 times. So I think that the weight of the show, I think it's scary because I think we see that's the power of social media. Yeah. The media can turn on you anytime they want. At any point, any moment, they can say, we don't like her anymore. It
cancel culture.
Yes,
popular.
Cancel culture. And that's scary to me because the biggest portion of myself growing up, I always wanted people to like me because I didn't feel like I was supposed to be on Earth anyway. So feeling like you're not supposed to be on Earth, you want people to like you, and you do things to make people like you, to make them keep liking you. So I think it's hard pulling out these ugly discussions, these ugly topics, these hard topics. I think it's hard because people could really try to turn and flip the script any moment. And same with social media, they take one clip of something, one 30-second clip of maybe a 30-minute video and misconstrue the whole thing, the entire thing. Now all of Twitter is bashing you, and Instagram and the Shade Room and all that foolishness.
The Shade Room, I was
all
just
that
gonna say that.
is bashing you. And then I think, so that's the hardest and scariest part to me. That's the biggest weight. But, I feel like if the Holy Spirit leads me to talk about it, I'm going to talk about it because he's got my back. And if I'm supposed to do what he has me doing, then I'm going to be fine regardless, as long as I follow him. Once I start going off a track and doing whatever I want to do, you never know what'll happen then. So I think that's the biggest thing. Just Holy Spirit led. It has to say holy. I don't know what else to say. Like, there's no other way for it to make sense to just being Holy Spirit led, and not just this, but in life, period. Like, just for every decision, that's what it has to be. Really.
Because you got the Holy Spirit and James. We know he's somewhere working behind the scenes, but we know you're going to be on go if necessary, right? Mm-hmm.
Cause I ain't even want to do this no more for real. I was like, you know what? Everybody I sent invitations to, I'm going to tell them never mind. Just forget it. Whatever. That's how I felt inside. I had to go through a lot, especially this past week. It was just a lot. So between me not wanting to do things, there was multiple people I told why I didn't want to do it anymore, and they were all like, yeah, that's not happening. Like, that's absolutely not happening. Multiple people. So, yeah, no, for real, they told me, like, there's no way. And I think that's the biggest part of reasons why DeJ'scussions still exists, because even in that time of that 2-year period, I was like, you know what? If I forget about DeJ'scussions, maybe everybody else will forget about DeJ'scussions.
Psych.
Yeah.
I ask her every time.
A huge psych. So, people were asking me, and I say that in the video, like, thank you guys for being viewers who had no show to watch for 2 years. You didn't have a show, but you were still viewers because you cared about not only the show, but you care about me. And you ask, and you're persistent. So that really kept me going. Like, I know I'm supposed to do something, but when people are constantly reminding you about it, they're like, so when are you getting back on DeJ'scussions? I'd be like, I don't know. That's how I'd be. I'd be like, stop asking me.
Guilty.
Please. Yes, definitely. Jazz was definitely one of them. So,
and I'm proud because this is amazing. Look at what you've done. And you have the community as well. You have clinical therapists. You have your pastors. You have your family. You have friends who are all here. People, entrepreneurs. Like, so this is amazing. Right. So you had to do it. You really had no choice. I'm sorry to tell you.
I know.
I'm sorry to tell you. I know. But it's okay because even in the process, there are areas that you had to learn how to master because process isn't pretty. It just produces a product, right? So tell me about some of the areas that you've been having to deal with mastering.
Ooh. Right. So I don't think we ever master our emotions or master our mind. We're never going to master it because when you get maybe a hold of one area, maybe something comes and tests it and tries it, and you see how far you've gone with it, how far you've made it, how far you've progressed with it. But there's always going to be something. If there's one thing that I've learned, there's always going to be something. That's just life. That's just the nature of the world we live in. Life is, I just want to say this now, life is never going to be easy. Like, it's not going to be easy. It can get easier when you decide to delegate your stress, when you decide to say, you know what, God, I'm not stressing about it. So now this is on you. So you're going to have to figure out what to do. I'll keep praying. I'll keep reading my word. I'll keep doing what you ask me to do. But now it's on you. It's on you, bro. It's all you. So I think that's when life starts to become easier. But I think the biggest thing that I've had to master is trusting the Holy Spirit, number one. And I think I'm still working on that. And also, too, I just think it's my emotions. That's the biggest thing. The biggest thing I struggle with on the day-to-day is my emotions. It is how I feel in that moment. One day I can be happy and I'm good, and the next day I am a mess, a complete mess. And you can ask James because he has to deal with it every day. I feel so bad. But that's why God called me out of the last relationship, because I had to have someone who could handle my emotions and someone who could help me process me through my emotions. Like, even if I can't process emotions, you need to have people who are sound-minded that can help walk you through your emotions, ask you questions, dig deep, keep doing things. So I think one of the biggest things that I've had to master is my emotions, seriously. Like, that is the hardest part, and I still... Like I said, this past week has been challenging. When I say challenging, it has been probably one of the most challenging weeks I've had in a really long time. Emotionally, not physically, not anything like that, but emotionally. And this time last week I was anxious. On Monday I was anxious. Tuesday I was extremely anxious. But by the time Wednesday came, the problem was solved. It was resolved. And I'm good now. Like, I'm fine. Like, I was not, I told my dad, I said, Dad, it's crazy. Yesterday I was so like, and now today I'm like skipping, walking, jolly. But that's the thing. That's the thing that'll toy with you. And I think that's where the mastering comes into play is that we always say everything was just good. Like, now everything's in shambles. Now everything is a mess and blah, blah, blah. But that's the thing. Like, life is not constant. It doesn't stay the same. It's not going to stay the same. It changes, like, all the time. But if you have God, or, you know, if you have God, he doesn't change. So if he doesn't change, that's who you rely on. Like, you don't rely on your emotions. Your emotions play tricks on you. Your mind tells you things that aren't real. Like, Satan will do that to you. Like, he'll plant one seed one time in a place, and after that, you play on it for I don't know how long because you choose to believe it. So I think that's the biggest thing. I think it's just mastering the fact that you don't always listen to your emotions. You listen to the constants that God has told us, the truths that he has told us, the things that he's lined out for us. That's the master. That's where you try to master. That's what you try to master, you know, understanding that and living that and believing those things. I think that's the constant of trying to really believe those things over and over again, because your emotions are always going to change. You can't just go with how you feel. You have to go with what you know. And sometimes your mind and your heart and your emotions and all that do not line up. They don't.
So let me ask you this then, right? So when you're able to, like, identify your emotions, do you run into mirrors? How has that been for you, if you have?
Like, you mean like me looking back at myself, like, what do you mean?
So mirrors, like, for relationships that you're building or relationships that you had with people. So, like, example, let me just say I met somebody that the grief that I'm going through or different things like that.
I get what you're saying. So, like, you're saying that when I'm going through things, do I see people who are acting like me? Like, is that what you mean, like, emotion-wise? Yeah. Like, there's sometimes I'll hear people and they'll say things that are like, say if someone says something about themselves, like, I feel insecure in this aspect, I feel this in this aspect, and I'm like, what do you mean? I see X, Y, and Z. You're so great in this way, this way, this way, this way. And then I'm like, is that me? Like, is that what I sound like? And I heard Indy say it. She's like, that's me and Deej. Every Thursday, we come to work, and I'm like, Indy, I feel blah, 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 blah. She's like, DJ, what are you talking about? you're so great. Blah, 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 blah. And then Angie be like, Teach, I don't know. I just feel like, and I'm like, oh, girl, shut up, because you already know that you feel X, Y, and Z, and you know that you are X, Y, and Z. Like, yes. And I feel like to put a name to it, yeah, Indy is one of my mirrors. I think every week, we work together every single week. And every single week, we come up with something new that we've talked about. We've talked about another deep thing, and I think that's great. So, yeah, I do think I've ran into mirrors all the time, everywhere. I think people really make me see myself. I can see myself in a lot of people, but that's because I can see the good and the bad in myself, and I choose to acknowledge it. If you don't choose to acknowledge the ugly side you have, then you ain't never gonna grow. So you have to acknowledge the ugliness. You have to, like, because not all of us are cute, and honestly, we all no inside. Like, really, we're not all pretty people inside. Like, I have ugly sides too. I do, and I notice that, and I know that. But if you claim that you're just the greatest all the time, then we know you're lacking somewhere, because a lot of times insecure people big themselves up in areas all the time out loud to other people where they're actually insecure inside. Right. Yeah. So, and that's stuff that I used to do. So. Or they don't make it plain, or they don't make it known. Like, you know, if I don't want you to talk about, I'm gonna say something that don't get on my nerve, that I don't care about. My forehead is big, right? I have a big forehead, I do. And because my forehead is big, like, say I was insecure about that, I would go around trying to hide my forehead all the time. Yes, my bang is covering it, but I don't care. I would have a slick back, and y'all can see it. But say that was something I was insecure about, then I wouldn't highlight it. You know what I mean? Like, so it's two completely ends of the spectrum. Some people beat their chest, and other people, like, hide. Yeah.
So I have two more for you, right? So based on your initial introduction of DeJ'scussions, because I did go do my homework. I saw the video in 2020. She was like, I don't know. Is this how I say it? I don't even know. Am I saying it? Oh, yeah, it's on YouTube. You just had everybody subscribe, so it's okay. So y'all go back and watch it, because I thought it was hilarious, because you really matured over the process as well. Even though, like, you had those few videos, we still got to experience you grow during that time. So based on your initial introduction of DeJ'scussions, what mark do you desire to leave with everyone here today?
Read it again. It gives me time.
Based on your initial introduction of DeJ'scussions, what mark do you desire to leave with everyone here today?
I don't know, man. When you don't know the answer, you just say God, because He does it. He did, for real. Like, I made a guest list, and I don't know. I just put it together, and as people came to my mind, I sent it, and I was like, ooh, I can't have this without this person. I can't have this without this. So it's just like, I don't know how it led me to this point with these people, but it just, I think it's just life. Like, 2 years ago when I made that video, I didn't know you. Yeah. I didn't know you existed. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't know you existed. I didn't know half of this section right here existed. I didn't know y'all. Like, there's so many people I had just met or just seen. And that's the craziest part to me, is just like, it's just life. Like, as you experience life, then people come through, and you didn't know that you wanted these people around you until you had them. Yeah. You know? So I think that was the biggest thing. Like, everything, like, it almost puts me at a loss for words, because it's just so much I could say for one thing. Like, and I do talk a lot. Everybody knows that. I do. I talk a lot. And I've been like that since I was young, right, Mom? Yeah, I just talked my little mouth off. I talked her ears off, talked my mouth off. So it's just, I'm just speechless, Jazz. I really am. Like, it's just so much. Like, I'm trying not to get emotional, because it's just like, if y'all knew me where I was when I made that video, number one, I was so tiny, and I was losing weight every week. I was dropping like 6 pounds every week without even doing anything, because I was stressed, and I didn't know I was emotionally, like, I didn't know how damaged I was emotionally at that point. You know what I mean? So I'm not crying, so it's okay. You good, Corey? I'm not crying. Don't bring tissues up
He
here. 'Cause
serves
I'm
so
not
well.
crying. I'm not crying. But yeah, it's just, it really has just been God. It's been experience. It's been lives. If I didn't get out of my last relationship and get into the next relationship, I wouldn't have known you. I wouldn't have known so many people that I can just call on or talk to, that I can rely on and depend on. Like, that's just like, it's just so crazy to me how God does things and how he does them so just smooth and swiftly, like how he just makes the next transition into the next thing, as long as you trust him. Because if you don't trust him, then it'll be a rough process. It will. But trusting him makes it smooth, even if it's rough, because you're just like, you know what? It's on you. Like, it's on you for real. Like, it's not even me doing this for real, it's you. So because of that, I'm going to just do whatever you tell me to do, and I'm going to just do it. That's literally how I felt about this. Like, I feel like I was just, if y'all would have saw me 12 hours ago, I was like just leaving the house and I was scatterbrained. I was frazzled. Going to the grocery store on a Saturday morning, why didn't anybody tell me that was the worst thing to do ever? Like, nobody told me that. And I work at night most of the times during the week. So I go to grocery stores on like a random Tuesday morning and everything's fine. Like, okay, woo. No, that was the worst thing ever. I'm never doing that again. Please, I did not know. Like, I just didn't know that it was that bad. So I just really think it's just God's leading me up to here. Like, and I just like am so appreciative of all the people that have came. Like, you guys all hold special places in my heart. Seriously, like, y'all have all contributed to my life at some point in some way. Moni's shaking her head, yes. You ain't do nothing. Say, no, I'm playing.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
It's like, no, that's my love language, is messing with people. So if I mess with you a lot, it's because I love you. But, yeah, so seriously, like, I don't know what's led me from there to here, but I can just say life. Like, life experiences have led me from saying what I said then to saying what I do now. Like, it was just a build-up, for real.
So can I tell you what I love about your answer, right? Because I feel like if I asked you that question at the beginning of the year, you would have had the same answer. And one thing I could say every time I have asked you about the show is it's always been God-based. Like, it's always like, if God didn't say it, I'm not about to move. I'm not about to do it without him. So I commend you for that and being consistent in that. So my last question. This is not a heavy hitter. This is end of the round. It's already been like 9 rounds. It's good. You got this. So how often can we expect content from you?
When Jazz asked me how often, she said there's questions that we could like take out. I almost was like, yeah, knock off that last one. And so
I think that was the easiest question.
No, I don't like that question.
No, okay, let me tell you
like
something. Let me tell y'all something, right? The video that she did release, she was going to wait. Oh, I'm telling on you. She was going to wait to show it here tonight, right? But I guess she was just excited. You can correct me if I'm wrong. So she went ahead and released it. So we know she has content in the arsenal. So we don't have to worry about that. We just got to worry about when you're going to release and let go. So
the problem, like, and that's why I was dreading this, because I was like, you know what? When I release one video, then people are going to ask me about the next one. So I'm like, oh my gosh, if I never release it, yes, Jasmine is people. She is. I don't know, but I want to say that I really want to give something at least once a month. And that sounds like it's far apart, but between all the things you can do with one video in one time, between, you know, advertising it and cutting it up, doing snippets, like the video I last released, it was about how different experiences in your life sow seeds of purpose. First of all, I recorded that back in like February or March or something.
See
like
what
that.
I mean, y'all?
And where was I going with that point?
You were talking about your
okay.
content once a month.
Yes, once a month. Oh, that's what I was going to say. With that video, thank you. With that video, I took a piece out of that and I released that small little 30-second clip of that like months prior to when I released it. You know what I mean? So I feel like because with one video, I can do so much build up and I can cut it up and do so many different things. I I think once a month is good. I mean, maybe it'll get more. I mean, honestly, and I'm praying to God for this, if DeJ'scussions could eventually become my full-time job, y'all would get stuff so much more often. If DeJ'scussions, as much as I love Indy, as much as I love all the people I serve at Bahama Breeze, yeah, there's first of all, I have some regulars in the house. That's number one. Yeah. Patches A, wave y'all hands. Jess, Vaughn, raise y'all hands. Those are people that come and see me, and Justin Vaughn, that's my cousins too. So not just that, but as much as I love them, and they make my experience enjoyable at work, I don't want to do that forever. I'm tired of it. My back hurts when I leave. People asking me questions, and I'm just like, I don't even like customers for real. Like, it's just hard. I really don't.
Wait, Deej, you on camera saying this?
I know,
don't do
and
too
I
much.
don't care.
Don't
I
do
don't
too
care.
much.
I don't care. Because I can't say it at work, so I gotta say it somewhere.
It's holiday season. You need all your tips. All of that fun stuff.
The ones that really matter
I'm going to recant the
here.
statement for her. What she meant to say was, when it's time to clock out, it's time to clock out.
Thank you. She cleaned it up for me. I'm about to say that I don't want to be working at my job forever. I really don't. Like, I can't. I really can't do that forever. And I really would love DeJ'scussions to become my full-time job so that I can do content more recently, so that I can spend my time and not working, shifts and stuff that are a means to an end, but it's not the end goal. So I feel like I'm not wasting my time, but sometimes I do feel like dang, I could be at home researching, doing this, reading a book, doing something else to further my progress for DeJ'scussions. Yeah. So I really want to release stuff. I say all that to say, I'm sorry, I'm super long-winded. I say all that to say that once a month, I really want to do something once a month that doesn't put too much pressure on me to feel like I have to do things double speed, record overtime, and lives are busy. There's people I want to bring onto my show. There's people I want to have to talk with and things like that. So I have to coordinate that schedule with my schedule, their schedule, James' schedule. I have to do all that. You know what I mean? So I think once a month is good. I think it's a good load. It's a good start. But if I can start doing DeJ'scussions full time, y'all gonna get stuff all the time. Yeah. You know what I mean? So hopefully soon enough. Yeah.
Well, that's gonna conclude the interview portion of this evening. But together, can we just celebrate her one more time? Deej, congratulations.
Thanks, Jazz.
And thank you for having me.
Yes, definitely. Clap for Jazz too. Definitely. One more hug, Jazz. One more hug.
Thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thank you. I will.
I love you. Thank you.
So I didn't think about this part. So actually now, are y'all ready to watch the video? That's what we came here for. We came here for the video. Talking is nice, but for the video, that's the main portion. So before I do the video, there's just a couple people I want to recognize. Number one, do y'all see that arch back there with the balloons? That one? Do you see these balloons and all these things? That's Chic Designs, right? Ayana, stand up. Ayana, stand up. Come on. No, that wasn't long enough. You didn't stand up long enough. That's her. She's great. She's great. She put this together for me. I didn't even know, was surprised. We talked about it a long time ago, and then I got overwhelmed, and I was like, yeah, forget that. Don't even care. She was like, well, what do you want? I'm like, I don't know. I was acting all weird. I don't know why I was acting crazy like that. But, yeah, so book her, get her contact, get her info, get something somehow because she's creative and she's amazing. And I've seen way more things that she's done. This is just a glimpse, a small glimpse of what is inside of her and what she does. So she's great. Ayana, I love you. You're the greatest, seriously. So yeah, please book her. Also too, I want to shout out Josh and my dad, both back there. The fact that they did this sound for me, this wouldn't be that cool if we didn't have them. We wouldn't have slides, we wouldn't be mic'd up, we wouldn't be live streaming on Facebook and YouTube. And I want to say hi to everybody on Facebook and YouTube. Thank you for joining me for this. But yeah, I want to shout out to them. So thank you guys so much for being dedicated. Thank you for loving me. Thank you for caring about me, because y'all are the reason that, this is happening. Y'all are part of the reason that this is happening. That has come together so nicely, right? So just give them one more round of applause. Thanks, Reverend. Thank you. Pastor Josh, I'm speaking it into existence. So anyway, but yeah, so everybody else, seriously, thank you for coming. Thank you for pouring into me. Y'all are a lot of the reason that I am the way I am. Each one of y'all have put a brick into me, literally. So I really appreciate that, seriously. I can't say, I feel like you can't do anything without shouting out your mom. So Mom, you're the greatest. Seriously, you are. I call her Pastor Mom, Pastor Dana. Seriously, thank you, Mom, for, just helping me all through this week. She has been emotionally, she has been my rock here in the physical, for real. So she's just helped me so much, and I really appreciate that. Seriously, Mom, you're so great. And she set up the food. She put it out so nicely and so beautifully. She's great. So thanks, Mom. I really do love you. DeJ'scussions, you're so great. DeJ'scussions, he's great. Just amazing. I don't even want to call him a videographer, a cinematographer, right? I love you, seriously, I do. I love you. You're so great. You're amazing. You're faithful. And even this past week, he has been one of my emotional rocks as well. Seriously, it's been a crazy week, an emotional week. So I just really appreciate you. Not only for that, but for his video work. So book him, hit him up. Seriously, get with him after. Yes, you're about to see one of his videos next in a couple seconds when I stop talking. And then also, too, Tots Top Shots is here. Toddy! So that is actually one of my besties, right? So I really just appreciate you, Tot, for coming, taking pictures. I love you so much. Thank you. Without a doubt, she said yes, in all ways possible. Both of them said yes, just I don't know where. So, Tot, I really appreciate you. I love you. Thank you. You can book with her. Also, hit her up after there. All right, I'm done talking for the next 10 minutes because we're about to watch the very first episode of the home improvement series of DeJ'scussions. So I'm really excited about that. This is the intro episode. There was one more thing I was going to say, but I forgot about it. So since I forgot, let's just watch the videos.
Are you ready to get down to the nitty-gritty? Let's discuss it.
Welcome back to DeJ'scussions, where we discuss the difficult, the uncomfortable, the unpopular, or the unknown about people or social topics. I have to thank you. Thank you all for coming back and joining me as viewers. But as a host, I have to say that I dropped the ball on being consistent and dedicated to what means the most to me, which is the people first and the show second. For over a year and a half, I've dropped the ball on doing what I'm supposed to be the most passionate about, which is opening minds up to understand another side of the story about various social topics or people, and I'm truly sorry for that from the bottom of my heart. But I do have to say thank you. Thank you to every single person over the course of the past year and a half who's asked me, when are we getting another episode of DeJ'scussions? Or, Deej, when are you getting back on your show? Thank you. Thank you for pushing me and reminding me that I'm not the only person who wants this show seriously. The love and support I felt from viewers who had no show to watch was amazing. You were all consistent in reminding me even when I wasn't consistent to you, and that means so much more than you'll ever know. You all saw what I didn't see in myself, and I will forever be grateful for that. So what has DJ Rachel been doing? I'm about to get real vulnerable with y'all for a second. I am a completely different person from who I was when I came up with the concept of what this show was going to be. In the past year and a half, I have went through a breakup. I went through deep, deep sadness, depressive feelings, and uncertainty But then I began to find emotional stability, emotional independence, inner joy, and gain healthy weight back. I found a therapist, and I'm beginning to find mental stability. I have also fell in love. I've began to implement boundaries. But after all of that, for some reason, I still wasn't motivated to act on DeJ'scussions. My mind still felt messy, all over the place, and cluttered even after progressing and healing in all those areas. I still felt defeated and unhappy in certain parts of life. I was still battling depression day to day, but I felt as though I progressed so much emotionally and mentally despite the depression. I didn't understand how this didn't make me feel empowered to conquer the world. I also began to have anxiety-ridden sleep. I would be asleep for a full 8 hours and still not feel rested because I was subconsciously anxious. So one day I realized my messy, unsettled thoughts that left me unable to focus and unmotivated mirrored my bedroom. My bedroom was a complete mess. My room floor was covered in shoes, clothes, unpacked suitcases, papers, and water bottles. It was complete chaos. Every time I'd be in my room to try and create content for DeJ'scussions, I couldn't focus. I felt overwhelmed and stressed. It's like I had ideas but couldn't even organize the thoughts in my head to put them on paper. I began to question, was my environment infecting my mind, or was my mind infecting my environment? Honestly, I don't know, but I do know it was a never-ending cycle of feeling down, so not wanting to clean, and not wanting to clean because I felt down, and then feeling bad about who I was as a person because my room was a mess. I soon realized my room was representing how I felt on the inside, and I desperately wanted a change to how I felt inside and how I was living on the outside. So I did research, and there was plenty of articles and YouTube videos never ending explaining that clutter and chaos directly causes stress, the inability to focus, and feeling unsettled. So Dr. Sherry Borg Carter, a psychologist, wrote an article for Psychology Today explaining 8 reasons why clutter causes stress. 1. Clutter causes a lot of stimuli from our environment, whether it's visual, sound, hearing, touch, smell, or taste, which causes all of our senses to overwork when it isn't necessary. 2. Clutter is distracting. It takes our attention away from what we should be focusing on. 3. Clutter makes it hard for people to chill, whether it's the physical act of cleaning or the mental burden clutter causes. It's hard for people to sit back and relax. 4. Clutter constantly sends signals to our brain that our work is not yet complete, which causes that constant unsettled feeling. 5. Clutter brings anxiety because it leaves us unsure of where some items may be, and it leaves us unsure of what it'll take to get through the mess. 6. Clutter can cause emotional instability. For people who can't operate in chaos or clutter, seeing it can cause feelings of embarrassment or guilt. 7. Clutter invades open spaces that normally would allow most people to be creative and brainstorm. So because of that, it hinders productivity, thinking, and being creative. 8. Clutter can make us easily angered or frustrated because it's not easy to find what we need through the mess. So after learning all of that, I realized my room was the reason I couldn't get my ideas out of my head. So I decided to clean. I decided to clean my room. Cleaning my room has always been a huge task for me, my entire life. It may seem very small to others, but it's always been a huge battle for me. I never wanted help with my room. I always wanted to do it myself. But I decided to humble myself and ask for help from my amazing boyfriend. Without a doubt, he said yes. Oddly enough, I began getting really excited inside. Finally, I had the courage to defeat the thing that was blocking my creative flow. So, the day we decided to tackle the beast of my room, I slowly felt less and less unsettled, anxious, unfocused, and unmotivated. By the time we finished, I was overwhelmed with relief. The very next day, I was able to sit down and continue to create new DeJ'scussions content. I felt focused, empowered, and super inspired. I couldn't stop. I spent the entire day typing, researching, and focusing on my true passion, DeJ'scussions. So the real question is, why did I decide to be open with y'all and break this down?
I realized that the same way it's needed to physically remove clutter to move forward and function in a healthy manner is the same with your mind. We need to remove all the clutter, unhealthy thinking, hurt, and dysfunction we've experienced in life from our minds to be able to move forward, think, and function healthily. It was amazing to me because I did all the physical representation of that, which healed the mental and emotional aspect of this. My room is equivalent to my mind, and the clutter is equivalent to the hurtful things that we've experienced in life that leaves us with unhealthy and dysfunctional thought process. It's funny to me because I mentioned that I never wanted to help with my room, but that draws comparison to how many times people don't want outside help with their minds when it comes to any hurts or hang-ups they've experienced in life. Hence the reason there are so many who are against the idea of counseling or talking to someone about things they've been through in life. So I say all this to say we need home improvement. Improving our home, which is equivalent to our body, is what's going to help us move forward in life. So I am proud to announce that this is the introductory episode of DeJ'scussions, the home improvement series. In this series, we're going to do a major remodeling to our homes, y'all, aka our minds. I plan to touch on the following: emotional boundaries, codependency, trauma, tear, which is trace, erase, and replace, and automatic negative thoughts. We're gonna dig deep inside ourselves, y'all, as scary as it is to confront things we haven't felt, talked about, or thought about in a while. That is the key to maturing as people. So in our next episode, we're going to be touching on what emotional boundaries are and how we can set them for ourselves as people. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this episode. I'm so ecstatic to be back, and I promise you I'm more dedicated than ever. Man, it's just, I lied. I said I wasn't going to cry. It's just like, have you ever thought about, like, when you were a child and, like, you wouldn't be doing now what you, like, you never thought now you'd be doing then? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when I was tiny, like, I thought my words didn't matter. I thought, like, inside it meant nothing. Like, I thought I had to do whatever I needed to do to prove that I deserved to be here. And it's like, man, Satan will do anything to plant a seed when you're young to believe it so that it snuffs you and quiets you for the rest of your life. And that's his goal. So if there's anything you're scared to do, anything you won't do, anything you're anxious about doing, do it. Because 9 times out of 10, that's what you're probably supposed to be doing. And talking in front of people, that was scary to me. It was so scary to me, and like, that caused me so much anxiety, and it was just like, now I'm doing it, and I'm talking in front of people, and granted, this is a place filled with love, so it's everybody that loves me, but what if it's a time that people don't love me, you know? Like, people don't know me enough to actually love me, you know? They like, you know, maybe what they see on here, but it just fills me up because I really thought I was worthless, and then you come here and you make a difference and you put impressions on people and you speak and you just do it, you know? So, like, really, seriously, just do it. Like, I know that's cliche and Nike and all that stuff, but, like, for real, do it. No matter what.
All right, that's enough. Suck it up. All right, I'm back. Okay, so I have one more thing that I want to do and then after that, it's over. Like, it's done. Did everybody get an index card? Oh, man. I forgot one thing. No, not a pen. No, I really needed a trash can. Can someone... There's a small one. I know there's a small one in the kitchen, I think. Like a small one. Because we're just putting paper in there. It don't matter. It don't matter. Is he pulling one? James is pulling one. Thanks, Chris. Sorry, I need to put that in the notes next time. Make sure I have everything I need. Thank you. Huh? Can you turn... Ew, I don't like the trash in there. Okay, it don't matter. It don't matter. Turn it... You can flip it to the side. Yeah. All right, you can leave it open. Whatever. It's trash, okay? Anyway, so everybody has an index card. Everybody has one. Does anybody need one? I don't know where they're at, so someone will give it to you because it's not going to be me. Oh, you have them? Oh, thanks, Talisha. Give a hand for Talisha. Yay! And Lena and Talisha both, Moni, both helped check people in, gave y'all your raffle tickets. They helped me, constantly asked me what did I need, and I knew I could just, have them do that. So that's that. What y'all need? One more? You need one day? Point them out. Point them out. Point them out. Point them out. Okay. All right. That's it? We good? Mom, you got an index card? No. Okay, now. All right. Good. Okay. All right, good. So the last, babe, you got an index card? All right. You lucky you got that camera and stuff. Okay, so the last thing I wanted to do is that the year is coming to an end, and I feel like you always learn something within a year. You always learn something about yourself, and I feel like to have a really productive end of a year, you always want to let go of something. So I just feel like we all need to write something that we want to get rid of and leave in 2022, something that comes from a spot in your mind, the first thing you think of, something that might be pain, hurt, whatever it is, depression, sickness. It doesn't matter what it is. You could say even shoes. Like, say you have too many pairs of shoes, because I have a lot of shoes. If you have too many pairs of shoes, you need to get rid of it. Whatever it is, I feel like that is being placed on your heart throughout this that we've talked about, the clutter, the junk inside your mind that we've talked about. Write it down. Write it down on the index card and give y'all time for that. I feel like you should write something down, even if it's like not being able to control your emotions, anything that's come to your mind when we were, even especially when the video was playing, like the clutter, the things that is, the dysfunction that's, plaguing your mind, something that you can write down and get rid of, something. Y'all thinking? Y'all got y'all thinking caps on? Oh, we writing lists? I thought it was going to be hard for just one thing. Okay. All right, y'all. So as you're writing, as you're finished, I want y'all to come. I want you to rip it up, and I want you to put it in the trash can. Because that's where it's going. Like, it's staying there. We're leaving it here. You got one more month to, carry it on you. But after this, after we move into 2023, it's over and done with. For real. It's finished. I know that's right. Come on now. These are Thursday talks. It's okay. It's all good, Indy. You good. You're fine. Right. They not playing. Right. Where's the shredder? Signal. Right, if I could sing, you know. Yeah, if I could sing, I really would be singing y'all something right now. But y'all don't want to hear that. Y'all will run out the church if that's the case. Is that everybody? Did everybody give something? Y'all all gave something. Alrighty. All right, well, y'all can't be liars now. Y'all really have to get rid of it. Like, you have to work and you have to train yourself to get rid of it, to get rid of the hurt, to get rid of the pain. You have to rethink. Like, when you think one way all your life, it becomes natural. But when you have to reforce yourself and you have to choose to think differently. You have to choose to do that every day. So whatever it is you wrote on that paper, I really do pray that it really does go. I pray that you ask God to help you release it. I pray that you really rely on him and you focus on him. Maybe that's your next assignment, for the beginning of 2023 is to really focus on that piece of growth. And you'll have no clue this time next year where you'll be at, So I really just want y'all to focus on that. I think that's the part that has helped me grow so much with DeJ'scussions and be able to come up with this, because I came up with the name, the Home Improvement Series, through a dream. You don't know how God can place things on you. You know what I mean? You'll never know. So I happen to like to sleep a lot. So he'd be like, okay, bet. You sleeping? Dream. There you go. So it came through that. It came through a dream, the Home Improvement Series. So that's that. I mean, honestly, I just thank you guys for being here. After this, please just make sure you don't forget to take food. I also want to get pictures with people, as many as I can. I got taught till 9:30, so y'all better come and get pictures, seriously. I want to get pictures with everybody. I want to remember this moment. This is a special moment, and I think God allowed it to be a safe place for me to pour my heart out, because the people in this room I'm safe with. I feel like I can talk to any one of y'all about anything at any moment in here. So seriously, I love you guys. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to me talk. Thank you for making me feel like my voice matters. So yeah, I think that's really it. So we got rid of baggage. We did that. We, listened. So I love you guys seriously a lot. Thank you to everybody online that's watching. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. You aren't even here, and you still decided to give me part of your day. Give me part of your night. Or Saturday night. Y'all can be anywhere. So that's it, y'all. We done. That is the watch party. That's it. We finished. It's over. Thank you guys. Seriously. Thank you. Stop! It's not me, for real, man. If you're clapping for me this loud, you have to clap for God even louder.